Ghost Ship, the iconic horror film from 2002 from Dark Castle Entertainment. Starring Gabriel Byrne, Juliana Margulies, Ron Eldard, Desmond Harrington, Isaiah Washington, and Carl Urban. Today we're going to talk about the VHS release of Ghost Ship, including the trailers, the movie itself, and if it's actually any good or not. Welcome back to the Ectoviolence channel. My name is Alec. Something very interesting about this tape, though, I will say. So the reels are black. Do you see that? If you're not very familiar with VHS tapes, most of them seem to be white, like that one. They also usually have this clear tape guard in there that you can see. The one on this one is also black. This tape is goth as hell. It's a very aesthetically pleasing VHS tape, I'll give it that. They know how to market the movie. I mean, that's a dope poster, isn't it? See Evil? Okay, that's a little cringe. Let's go ahead and throw the tape in and take a look at the trailers. There's a Welcome to Collinwood trailer. Never heard of it. Doesn't grab my attention. Then there's a nice little trailer for Friday After Next, a good comedy movie to watch near Christmas time. And there's a hilariously dated AOL ad. You remember America Online, right? Let's go ahead and talk about some of the positives of Ghost Ship. Well, the elephant in the room would be the intro to the movie. The beginning of this movie is more iconic than the rest of the entire movie. You could watch the first 20 minutes of this movie, hell, not even that, maybe the first 5 minutes, and you've seen the best part of the movie, which is what's very unfortunate. It's front-loaded harder than any movie has ever been front-loaded before. So obviously the beginning of this movie starts in 1962 on this ship, and we see some unknown hands messing with some wires that end up slicing all of these people that are dancing in half, except a little girl who's too short. And then they all fall apart like anime characters. Then we sort of jump ahead 40 years to 2002. So this salvage team discovers this boat, and they hop on, and they end up finding gold and ghosts. Now, some of the cast, I think, does a decent enough job, especially for what they've been given. Gabriel Byrne is an underrated actor, I think. I think he does an okay job in this movie. Ron Eldard, who's in Drop Dead Fred and Deep Impact. Here's something really interesting. You know Francesca in the movie, right? The singer and, towards the end, apparently one of the instigators of the whole thing. Well, the actor who played Francesca was actually named Francesca Rontandini. I'm probably butchering that name. But she was on the Costa Concordia. Remember the Italian cruise ship disaster from 2012? She was on the boat when that happened. Such a crazy and weird coincidence. It was 10 years later, too. That just adds to the lore of this movie. Some of the positives throughout this movie, I like the general dark, ghostly, rainy, foggy vibes throughout the movie. 90 minutes of that can just work if you do it right for me. The scene with the pool bleeding through its bullet holes, sick. Blood pool, right? We're here for it. There's the whole scene that's kind of like an homage to the Shining bathroom scene with Francesca. There's the scene where they're eating the stuff and it turns into maggots.
How are those maggots? Maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. How do they taste?
And then the whole ending plot, like sort of like Ocean's 11 vibe of, oh, we're seeing how everything went down before. We're like they're showing us exactly how everything went down with Francesca and in 1962, why everyone was killed, etc., etc. Last big positive on this movie for me, actually considering rating it, is going to be the nostalgia. This is a movie that scared the crap out of me as a kid. To be honest, I don't know how when I'm watching it now. Creepy vibes were enough to scare me as a kid. That's what it comes down to. I probably watched this on, our first digital cable box where we had the remote and the digital guide button, We probably had a free couple-month trial of HBO or something. As far as positives go, that's about all I've got for Ghost Ship. This movie's boring. They should call it Ghost Shit. The crappy thing is I went into this review thinking I was going to give it a pretty positive rating in comparison. But that was the nostalgia in me being fooled into thinking it was actually a good movie. This movie's boring, and it has boring characters. There's definitely some fun stuff to it. The idea of this movie I like a lot more than the movie itself. The Shining meets Titanic, right? No, wrong. Shit meets poop. I wouldn't give it as low of a score as it actually has on like Rotten Tomatoes or anything. I think the aggregate score for it's like 15%. I can't agree with those people. And that's the thing. I put this in, and when I was taking notes at the beginning, I was like, man, this positive section is going to be so good. I'm going to be like, Ghost Ship is awesome, you guys. It's underrated. This is a cult classic. I'm riding and dying for it. This is part of a trilogy for me of 13 Ghosts and House on Haunted Hill. And I've actually covered 13 Ghosts. You should check that out here. And while 13 Ghosts and House on Haunted Hill are remakes, Ghost Ship is not. They still feel very similar. I'm really confused at why I seemed to think that this was a good movie for so long. Why has it fooled me? How did it do this? Is this the Mandela effect? Did somebody go back in time and replace this with a shitty movie? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm listing all these negatives and I'm being quite harsh on this movie, which I normally don't do. But I just found myself disappointed on this watch. For me, the vibes and nostalgia are definitely going to make me rewatch this movie. I mean, every few years I'll probably end up being like, you know what, I bet Ghost Ship isn't so bad. And then I'll probably watch it again and have this same reaction. Before I rate this movie, why don't you go ahead and jump in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Ghost Ship. What's your favorite ghost? What's your favorite scene? Do you think this movie sucks? Was I delusional for the first 20 years of this movie existing in my life? And now I get it? Or am I just being a sourpuss because of this latest viewing? I don't know. As far as hearts go, I am gonna give this one 2.5 out of 5. That's like a 50%, right? If you like this video, be sure to check out that 13 Ghosts review and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.